Because he's committed actually to guide you even in those
Quite interesting. What you're saying has just reminded me of the parable of the talents and how we will be held accountable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know. But I just want us to just backtrack a little. Those three guys in the parable were given different amounts of, talents. And so I think I'd like you to speak into, the comparing game and all of that. Not everyone's going to be a Dr. Irene and go to the nations, but wherever you're called to be, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your community, your immediate community, or the wider, community, whatever it is, I think I would love for you to speak into that, and obviously referencing the parable of the talents.
It is true. The parable of the talents is not necessarily saying that because you've got 10 talents, you're better than the one who got one. I think this is a choice that the master makes. I mean, we could do a study around it. But to answer to your question, this comparing is not very helpful.
No.
Because I had a situation where somebody asked me, they had a situation that they needed someone to speak into, and they asked my opinion because they had talked to someone who gave them the reason why things were not working, and their reason was based on what society says. And that's comparing. That's comparing. And in the moment, I just got this prompting to let them know that our God doesn't work like that. That if we go back, who helped Eve with her pregnancy?
There we go.
Who told Eve which under 5 did she have, which antenatal did she have to go to? Mary had a challenge because she was not married, but God still did his purposes. Sarah was probably the first woman to have a baby at 90. Joseph was probably the first person to come from prison to becoming number 2 to Pharaoh. Moses did not even have a book he could refer to. How do you move a nation from one place to another? He didn't have. So what I'm trying to say is we can't determine how God is going to deal with each one of us. Our responsibility is to be obedient. Our responsibility is to try not to compare. Some of the things that have happened in my life, I'll give you one interesting example that even up to today, I'm not sure I can even find those pictures. But some years back, probably 20 or even more than that, I happened to be the guest of Princess Anne. And I didn't know what that meant. So we were picked up. I went with a lady from Mufulira. We were picked up in a limousine where we were staying, and we were brought to this place. And Princess Anne was at the door. Yes, and she was just waiting for me and this lady. When I passed her, I wanted to. And she said, "We were waiting for you," because I wanted to see who else she was waiting for. So the point I'm trying to make is this, that we cannot dictate how God is going to deal with us. We can only do that because, oh, you did for that one. Do the same with me. I don't think we can do that. So what that says is that in our life's journey, we definitely need to have people, you and I, and we need to make ourselves available to others, so that they can bounce off ideas, but it's not our role to say this can't be done.
I love that.
It's not our place to actually say, we've never heard of this.
Yes.
It is true you've never heard of it, but the one we worship probably orchestrated it.
Absolutely.
So I really think that when we start comparing, we shoot ourselves in the foot, we stop things from happening, we actually stop expecting. Because it is in the expecting, this is really the definition of faith, isn't it? It's a substance of things hoped for but not seen.
Yes.
We need to fuel our expectation by not comparing. I think that's how I can answer that. And I think that the parable of the talents is a very good example because one talent, he didn't do anything with one talent. Forget about it. It was just one talent. It was just one talent.
But imagine what he could have done with it.
Yes, but the punishment was just as severe. So yeah, I think that so you definitely pick on the parable that helps us. Let's not compare. Let's allow God to do what He will in our lives, and God is going to use us whether we speak English or we don't.
I love that.
Whether we have gone to the university or we have not. Whether we have a title or we do not, He is going to use us regardless. So those who have titles should come down a little bit, allow God to take His place. And those who do not have titles should listen to God and arise when He wants them to arise.
And not shrink back.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that, Doc. I absolutely love it because it's so easy to shrink back.
It is.
I remember when the Lord kind of made my purpose very clear to me. I remember saying, "But Lord," arguing with the one who, because I said, "But Lord, I don't even have a doctorate." That was my first one, not first, but one of. And it took. He's so patient with us. It took him. He took time rather to help me understand that was neither here nor there. It's absolutely okay for us to pursue all these qualifications because then we know better. Because we've been told to add to our faith knowledge and all of that. And so there's nothing wrong with pursuing that. But He's not going to wait for you to get that for Him to send you.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to get out of that. Oh my gosh, let me just shrink back and let Dr. Irene do it.
So that's interesting you say that. You probably know this about me. I'm sure you do. But I had that same holding back because who am I? Because I had one thing missing in my life. I didn't have a university degree.
Right.
When I finished high school, my parents didn't have it. I had every qualification to take me there, but my parents didn't have it for me to go for further education. You've finished. We've finished our work. It's to get married now. And that's what happened. And so I spent a big part of my life as a serious excuse because I would find myself with all this knowledge, but the people that I'm interacting with have got the university degrees. So when I was asked, I had an opportunity to go and do a master's. I really turned it down. I said, I don't have a first degree. And they said, well, are you not able to comprehend what we are? So that's how I went and did my master's degree. And when I finished my master's degree, I went and did my postgraduate certificate at Cambridge University, an Ivy League university, postgraduate when I don't have a graduate degree. And from there I went and did my PhD. I still don't have a degree.
You still don't have a degree.
I still don't have
but the Lord is still using you mightily and you've surpassed all of these. It's almost like you were literally just teleported past certain stages.
Yes.
To go there.
To go there.
Yeah.
So you and in all these places I could tell you testimony after testimony of how the Lord provided for me to be in those places. So really, if we stop the comparison, we allow God to work.
To work. And we need to do that.
Yeah.
Just step back and let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Hear him, obey, and let him do the rest.
And be willing to obey, actually.
Right.
Be willing to obey.
Right. I love that. So I guess as we sort of come to a close, we could go on and on about this, but I want us to, because we're speaking about wellness, and our approach as Vitality is to speak to the human being in their totality, the spirit, the soul, and their body. So you spoke about walking and doing your power walk, 3 times a week or whatever frequency that is. Why is that important? Why is it important for us to take care of the temple? And what other things can we do?
It's nice you asked that question, because that question became real to me at one point. I was going through serious challenge, and I had started neglecting myself to a point that I had to ask the question, God, when are you taking me? I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to take my own life. So you have to agree to take me. And I had somebody who was journeying with me in my life, and this person was on the copper belt. So I actually traveled to the copper belt and to really just say, look, I'm at this space where I think that I'm done on planet Earth. I need to just go home. And he asked me one question, and that's the point for the story. That's the question that I want to put on the table. What it means. Wellness. The question he asked me is, you're going to get to the throne of grace, and the Lord is going to say, good and faithful servant, you do this. He has known me for a fair bit of my life, how I've worked with young people in the church and the women, and he's going to say, all these works you have done, good and faithful servant. When he asks you, how have you taken care of Irene? What are you going to say? Because good is not yours. And it had never occurred to me that I have a responsibility to taking care.
Oh, okay.
It is the temple of the Holy Ghost. But it's also, this is the first thing. This is my Jerusalem. I need to take care of my body. I need to know what I'm putting inside my body. When I buy those French fries, I need to do it in moderation. I need to know how I'm going to keep this, because it has been given me. So what you're doing, helping people to take care of themselves, walking, I think it needs to go beyond that. We really, I was comparing, in the last week I was looking at a documentary about the Japanese and how their longevity, and some of the things that we do actually work against us. We sit in a chair like this, we're on the computer, our limbs are dying. Before long, it's your knees. You can't, you have to think twice about kneeling in church, because how are you going to get up?
Oh my God.
Yes, so it's that. But the good thing though about our bodies is that once you realize that you need to take care of it, it will respond.
It will respond, absolutely.
It will respond. Drink water. When you feel hungry, drink water before you reach out for that bun.
That bun!
Drink water. Try to drink water on its own. Not any of these other drinks. Drink water. Just make an effort to understand what is the makeup of my body. What is my body saying? And when my body is speaking, what should I? Don't be in a hurry. Even sometimes when you are unwell, they give you so many tablets. Just don't be in a hurry to pump yourself with those. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but try and avoid a situation where you will need those. Take care of your body. Really try. There are certain things, and I know these days we have house help. Some of the things that I do in the house, I know my house help is coming, I wake up very early and I do the dishes. I do not because I want to do the dishes, but because if I don't, she's going to do them, and while she's doing them, I'm sitting.
Right.
So she's not doing me a favor.
Wow.
I'm walking around, go outside, walk, do this, take a walk, gardening. Do some gardening, do things. We were created to be active, to move. Yes. So really, I think that's really, and especially as you're getting to a little bit older, things start happening. One of the things that I really want to sort of emphasize on, do not accept the narrative. Do not accept the narrative that you cannot run anymore because your knees.
Say that again.
Don't accept that. Try it out. Yes. Try it out. And I know because you think, what will people say? Which people?
Which people? And even if they say, do they live with you?
Exactly. Try, walk fast, run a little, jog a little bit. Before you know it, you are actually running.
Right.
This body will respond, but we have to prioritize that. We have to make sure that we look after ourselves. I think that's what I can say on that one.
So that is the body. How would you recommend that we take care of the soul, our mind, our will, our emotions? How can we take care of those? Because I think the idea is for us to, the whole longevity story, because we have purpose to fulfill, and our purpose doesn't stop when the children leave home. We must still continue living through this life and fulfilling our purpose, but we're not going to fulfill it effectively in a body that's sick, in a mind that is sick. So how do we then, you've helped us with the body aspect, how do we take
So the mind, actually yesterday I was telling myself and telling God that God help me. Because now it's even worse. Because you will sit and you go to Facebook. And then you will look at a story. That story has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's not adding anything to your life. And when you have listened, you now go to the comments.
Yes. And you must follow the comments.
And you are following it. I am making a resolution. It's not a yes resolution, but I'm making a resolution to stop.
Right.
Let us feed our minds with things that build our minds.
You and I both. That's a pact we're making.
Yes, I'm starting.
Yes.
We have to feed our minds. Allocate time. What time do you have to feed your mind in terms of just understanding your God and strengthening your appreciation of your purpose? What about understanding the other things that are going on around? What about understanding things like strategy? How do you plan? There are certain things that the Word of God tells us. You need to leave an inheritance. What are you doing about that? What inheritance are you leaving? What are you reading about end of life? Is it just going to steal you like a thief in the night? Or are you even preparing? Because when you are getting into those ages, I'm reminded of a consultant who went to a company and asked the human resource manager, how many of your staff are going towards retirement? And the human resource looked at him and said, are you kidding? Everybody. There's nobody who is in reverse here.
Everyone's headed that way.
Everybody's headed that way. So knowing that we are actually headed that way, what are we doing today? It's never too late. It's never too late. What are we doing today? What's happening around your finances? What's happening around whatever it is that is of concern to you? How are you wrapping up? Reminds me of King Hezekiah, who was told your days are coming to an end. You need to prepare.
Put your house in order.
So how are we putting our houses in order? We don't have to know that we are dying tomorrow to put our houses in order. So it's those are mind things. Those are things we need to think about. How are we improving ourselves? One of the things I understood about the brain is that the brain is one of those functions. I may not have the science of it, but it's one of those body functions or body organs that thrives with improvements. So if you are not improving it, so right now, if somebody gave me an equation that I was able to just walk through when I was 15, if they gave it to me now, I really need Google to understand the whole mechanism. If I had kept
working,
so you understand also what are the areas of your life that you have neglected that you think you need to work on. If we do all of that, we'll find that we've got so much that we need to do. And Facebook, you may just allocate 10 minutes in a day. Or even completely take it out. Because you now want to take care of what is... You don't just follow what people are saying. We are in a time when people are thinking about... We're going into elections, people are thinking about, the leaders. And there are all these conversations. Don't just plug yourself into those things. Ask yourself, what is the conversation that's going to make me a better person? Because it's your responsibility.
Absolutely, yes. And I think that's so beautiful because it all ties into purpose.
Yeah.
Because it is also part of our purpose to take care of ourselves and to, guard our minds, guard our hearts, choose the places to go to with wisdom and all of that. I think we should wrap all of that into the purpose box.
It is into the purpose box. It is a wellness. And I think one of the things that sometimes that we need to consider is whatever place we are going to go into. For instance, you invited us to go for a walk. I was not able to come because I was physically unwell. But when something like that is happening, try and appraise yourself. Where are we going? What is it like? Just prepare yourself. And we have tools now. We have Google. Prepare yourself. Just be a person who is willing to learn things so that you can. I remember Apostle Paul telling Timothy that study to show yourself approved. We need to do that.
I think we lose the inquiring mind as we get older. Children are so inquisitive, and I personally don't like children being called naughty. They're just being normal. They're inquisitive. They want to learn. What is this? It's a new world to them. But then somehow we lose it along.
We lose that along, but we can pick it up. That's the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
We can pick it up, and I think what you're doing with us all is to help us just pick all of that. And it is really my prayer that as you continue in this work, and when you talk about wellness, it will be prefixed with purpose. And therefore, what do we need to do to make sure that we go into this purpose and we are fully armed spiritually, in the mind, bodily, everything. We are ready. We are not going to stop because something has stopped
us.
Let's start using the stick when we are truly in the 90s.
Absolutely. And even then, we should still be about purpose.
We should be about purpose.
We should be about purpose until we breathe our last.
Until the last day.
Yes.
Till he says come.
Until he says come, rather than, I've retired. Even your mind retired.
Even your mind is now on backsliding backwards. No.
I love scripture when it talks about how, and there's a contrast between, was it Eli? Eli who, when he died, his eyes were dim. And for me that's a very sad picture. But when Moses died, his sight was intact. And we get the picture of there was such vitality about him. So in as much as we age, we still need to be about the Father's business, and we're only going to do that effectively when we are well, spirit, soul, and body.
And when we do pray, then and we are saying, God, strengthen me for this. We know what we are about. We are not expecting a magical strengthening. We are getting up, we're walking, we're drinking water, we're doing the right things. We are stretching. We are
filling our minds with the right stuff. Oh, I love that. There's a lot to do.
Well, we have started us.
So what would you say? I mean, there's so much more to unpack, because every time I sit with you, you just stir up something in me. So I could talk to you on and on. But just for the purpose of this conversation, what would you say as parting words for, just this woman midlife seeking out her purpose? Where does she start? What does she do? What would you say to her? Are you open to mentoring? I mean, it's always, we look at mentorship sort of in line with younger people, but are you open to mentoring midlife women who have gone through a fair share of their lives, but they still need some guidance? Are you still open, or are you open to that, mentoring women in that phase of life?
I don't see why not, and I don't see why that should not be part of the program.
Right.
The vitality program. It really should be. And I think it should be part of it, in the sense of, can we now have a company of mentors?
Yes.
And not just one, but a company of mentors.
Right.
So in terms of last words, I would say that you've hit on something that needs to be done. And while the iron is hot, can we help women to start thinking about the positives? The fact that we are in midlife is such a positive thing, because there's a lot that has happened to get to this place, but there's a lot more. So can this midlife not be a crisis? But the trampoline that helps us jump into the future.
The second half of our life.
We truly have the second wind. What are we going to do with the second wind? We are going to resolve all these other issues, but the second wind is calling. And once we have identified our purpose, we now have this second wind, and
let's go.
We run.
Let's go for it.
We run. So women, let us run.
Let us run. Let us run. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Amen.